We think we can take the scenario a little bit further. So let's say you pick up something, a grapefruit, something that you've never seen before. And you say, this is interesting. Tell me about it. You like the product, and you say, okay, I'd like to cook something with this product. Because it's interactive, you can download a bunch of recipes for you. And so that one looks interesting. I'd like to have the grapefruit sundae for breakfast tomorrow, right? What we could do, because we have a device with you, and this is going to happen very quickly, is because the device can speak to the display, you say, okay, I'd like this. Look at the recipe, look at my shopping list that's currently on my device, work out the difference between what the recipe is, and download the difference into my phone, and then update my pick list as I walk through the store. These are the concepts that are really going to become pervasive in the consumer space, interacting with devices. So no longer will the information dissemination in the stores be one way, I'm going to give you something and you take it the way I want it. You're going to interact with it, and you're going to be able to take something away with you because you have a device that's capable of doing it. I really thought that was a little powerful scenario to say how some of this stuff is coming together. The last thing I wanted to chat about is this era of apps, and I know you've got a breakout today to talk a bit about this, but this really is a fascinating concept for me. In many ways, I think we've always been in the app era, right? Computing has always been dominated by applications. Nobody's just bought operating systems. Nobody's just wanted a PC because it's kind of crunches numbers in the background. We've always been in the app era. Whether it was the mainframe running the GL in the background in kind of the old traditional ways and how they started up, to what happened on PCs, and honestly the reason Microsoft probably became so successful is that we really had a good bunch of applications that ran on top of our operating system. People like operating systems, but they really like running the things on top of the operating system that lets them do their jobs, or lets them have fun, or lets them do their work, or let them play. But the big inflection point, I think, honestly, is that in the era that we're living in, is this concept of the App Store, and how we get apps into the hands of consumers. As these devices become more pervasive, as millions of them start entering the world, the inflection point that the Apple guys saw was, are we making it easy for people to get access to our applications? And so the new world of devices really is governed by the App Store and what you push into the App Store. And then, of course, that pervades the devices that you have. A couple of little statistics around this, in that from a device's point of view, there are currently almost a one-on-one mapping. Obviously, some of us overload the stat, between number of people in the world and number of devices in the world. So roughly one-on-one, a couple of billion, 6-7 billion devices. By 2015, 3 years from now, there will be a 3-to-1 ratio of devices to people. That's how the analysts are seeing the growth in the devices market. And so the net, the point is, if you don't have presence on a device, you will become irrelevant in a couple of years' time. That is the way people are going to think about interacting with you as a brand. A couple of other little statistics on how successful certain companies have been with this. Domino Pizzas put out an app in the UK a year ago. In a couple of months, they moved £10 million worth of orders through their app in a couple of months. That's how hungry people were to interact with them on an app point of view. Another local stat that I find incredibly interesting is FNB and how successful they've been with their local app. They're currently acquiring 30,000 customers a month through their app. And they currently have over 250,000 customers who interact with them through their app in less than a year. Well, I've just gone through the 1-year anniversary of that app. I kind of talked through this, so I'm going to skip this slide.
The most satisfying part of an engineer's day is when they build something knowing that they, along with millions of others, would find it useful. With Translator for Windows Phone, we can deliver translations when and where they matter the most.
I think the interactive aspect of the augmented reality, which is the piece that I worked on, when people see it's more intuitive than maybe they expected it to be.
There are a lot of things that human brains do that are really hard for computers to do. What augmented reality is really about is natural interaction through vision.
We like to think that it's very easy for people to just point the phone and see the translation magically appear.
Well, if you're in a foreign country and you are surrounded by text in a language that you don't understand, and this is especially true if that text is written in a language that you can't even reliably reproduce.
It could be time-consuming when you're on the road and have to pull up a Chinese keyboard and just point at the image and pan around so that you can keep translating things as and when they come into the view.
The voice mode is really intended to be sort of a conversational interface. So we wanted speech-to-speech translation. People just speak into the phone and the translated speech comes out. Can you help me find the bus station?
你能帮我找到汽车站？
The offline translation mode is really intended for people that are traveling without a data connection.
We have compressed the engine behind Bing Translator to fit on a phone in a language pack that you can download. You can translate on the go, avoiding data charges while roaming. Windows Phone was the perfect platform to showcase what these technologies could deliver to the user. For instance, we were able to use the unique live tile functionality of the platform to help users learn new words in their favorite language every day. Just pin the app to your home screen and go.
Our translation system isn't perfect, and sometimes you get funny results.
There's always something funny that you will encounter along the way.
But the idea is to get something so that you understand what's going on.
This is a very, very powerful thing. It's powerful in practice as something that you can actually use while you're traveling, and it's powerful in terms of what it does for you in your everyday life.
Hopefully, we're taking a step where you would feel a little bit bolder to go to a place where you wouldn't have gone because you didn't know the language. That is very satisfying.
The reason I wanted to show you this was I think it's a good example of how apps are evolving just to become more than just data, how they're actually making the experience of using a device and actually living so much more powerful. Maybe two little things to leave you with on to hammer home the relevance of apps. One thing I love about the Olympics at the moment is that they have an app. And the fascinating thing for me about that is not the app, but it's the fact that they have gone to the effort of creating an app that honestly has a lifespan of 2 weeks. So there's enough propensity, there's enough demand to have something that you're going to put into the market, it's going to be used very highly for 2 weeks, and then it's probably going to be never touched again. That demonstrates for me the power of the era that we're living in. Last concept, and then I'm going to move into the very futuristic stuff. One thing I just wanted to remind you of is we should think about the future of the home as well and the way we think about home entertainment and home interactions. So many of us have TVs, DSTV decoders, a bunch of different devices that plug into the TV, but very, very soon seeing this thing coming together. So what we're doing with Xbox and what many of our competitors are doing with their home entertainment devices is bringing many experiences into the center of the home, or the device that drives the center of the home. And it's moving all the way from gaming into the way you consume and use music, into the way you consume and use video and some type of online content. And the most fascinating thing for me there is that you'll see most of them now have this concept of a store, an app store sitting inside the device. So the ability for you to get your brand, your technology, your message into the device, into the thing that's sitting in the middle of the living room. So there's the new menu of the new Xbox, and you'll see it's not just about gaming. The top menu shows you all the ways we think about and how users are going to interact with the device. Okay. I'm going to play you a little video, but before I play you the video, I thought it's a powerful video, we think. But I wanted to try and explain some concepts you're going to see in the video so it maybe has a little more meaning. So I'm going to play you a video of sort of what we see 5 to 10 years out, probably about 7 years out. And based on the discussion we've just had, you'll see a lot of the basics that we have in place are really leading us up to that. And that's the interesting thing for me about this technology world and the technology wave that we're on. It's not like we're going to wake up one day and all of a sudden we're going to have the new world of technology. It's happening beneath us. It's happening around us. And so we like looking at these futuristic videos and saying, wow, only imagine when we have that. But if you actually critically look around, we're living this change right now. So some of the concepts in here are going to be interesting and revolutionary. You're probably not sure how we're going to get there. But if you really look at the basic concepts, we have many of them in place today. And it's up to us to grasp them and use them. So it's going to start out with a mother who's traveling, and you're going to see a couple of things. She's going to put on a pair of glasses when she arrives, supposedly at Johannesburg International Airport. It's really nice because it's a South Africanized video. Thanks to Microsoft for doing that. And it's going to do real-time translation based on a pair of glasses that she wears. So you'll see her start speaking in Afrikaans, and she'll put on a pair of glasses, and it'll translate the message over the PA system into English for her. So ubiquitous computing baked into a pair of glasses. It also is an intelligent set of glasses, so it'll show her information in her glasses. This is the way we think we're going to interact with glasses and devices or normal day-to-day wear that you have. You'll notice she interacts with a tablet or a little phone-type device. You'll also notice there's three-dimensional displays in that device, so she's able to draw on top of it, change the display by swiping underneath it. Very gesture-based. You'll see it'll move to a subway where one of her co-workers is working, and he will be able to talk to the device. Also, he will receive an email that will ask him for an approval. Or he'll receive a voicemail, through voicemail, that will ask him for approval. The device is very is able to contextually understand that he's being asked for an approval, automatically show a screen on his device that gives him a yes-no approval based on a voicemail that he received. So text-to-data understanding with context. I think that's a very, very important thing. One thing we haven't really got right up until now is how do we take the various different types of information we have and provide contextual information around it. Again, this is based on the amount of computing power that we have in our pockets, because that takes a lot of computing power, but it's getting there very quickly. And then you'll also see him digitally interact with the benefit, with the concept that's happening on a display wall with him. And this is the NFC or device context that I'm talking about, where the device that you holds your identity and enables you to do things like transact, give money, provide identity. I saw a bunch of you walking around with the token things. That's really a view of an identity device. Very soon, it's all going to be sitting inside this device. You're going to have one device for identity, another one for different things. You'll be able to give money, give people your business card, interact with devices all through one device. We're going to go back to the mom, and she's going to move into a hotel. And the hotel is going to, you'll get to see her get on the bed, and there'll be a big display in the hotel. There'll be a touch display in the hotel. She'll just move her data onto, and her working environment onto that display. So as I said in the beginning, be able to take the context that you have, because we're all cloud connected, take your work environment and work on whichever device you happen to be at. We're going to see an engineer working on a similar project with her, and you'll see how his workstation is completely different, yet allows him to interact with her, how he uses a natural user interface, but also has a precision device because he's an engineer and needs to work in a precision way. And again, sharing data in a seamless way. The last bit, the bit I like the most, is we're going to see a home situation, the father and the daughter of the working mom, the new world of work, I guess. I'm waiting for it. And how the mom interacts with the kids at home, how digital displays are ubiquitous in the home, and how, again, the context is baked in. So how the mom is able to interact with the child, supply her information, and how the dad is going to schedule a service on the wall. He moves something in, and it knows how to, when he schedules a service, to put it in his diary, to put it in the home diary, etc., etc. And then the last bit for the cooking dads out there is how we see the display permeating into the, so they're going to supposedly bake a milk tart, interesting, and how they understand what the inventory of the house is, and how the device of the house knows exactly what's in the house and what they can bake based on the inventory they have in the house. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now, and I will go ahead and roll the video.
Uw aandacht alsjeblieft. Welcome to Johannesburg International Airport. Please approach the road to create your pickup zone.
So you'll see there's displays all over. On the window of the cab, we have heads-up displays to show you. Now, the cab just understands where she is, where she's going tomorrow, and says, this is where your meeting will be tomorrow. First time she's been in that country. She's now sharing her information with the hotel that she's about to go to in a secure way through the cloud. And so now the people at the hotel know who she is, what her preferences are. They also know where she is, so they also know when she's going to arrive at the hotel. She made a voice dictation, and because she said something that needed to be actioned, it created an entry in her diary. So there's the voicemail message. And it created the interface for him to approve it based on a voicemail message that was placed. That's the hotel I was talking about. Moving information from her little handheld device to a much better device to work with. the engineer's workstation. Okay, naturally the home environment. Single device for the children as well, something to do your homework on, do your maths on, and also obviously interact with. Notice the three-dimensional display. So that was it. I hope this inspired you a little bit, showed you the way we're thinking about technology. Really, I think there's no better time to be in the technology world. I really think we are living in the world where it's about to change very rapidly and for the better of all of us. So good luck with today, and I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much.